Hello, welcome back to another video. It has been a wee while. Just been a few things stopped me from recording. I have been streaming a wee bit, and I'm not long after completing my second over the board tournament. We're going to have a look at how it went. There's 6 games in total here in this episode. We're going to have a look at the first 2. There's some upsets, there's some mistakes, things that you can learn from, things I definitely need to learn from. And I do apologise about my throat. I seem to be waking up having a stingy throat, but getting on with it here, drink it as much as I can and stuff. But again, jumping in straight to the games, here we go. We'll have the first round, we'll have games 1 and 2. Now this event took place over 2 days. There was 3 games per day, but we're going to split it up into 2, 2 and 2. Alright, so in the first game, let me actually double check because obviously needed to record all the moves. I had the black pieces, and this was actually one of my only games I played against a classical rated person, FIDE rated person. Now he did say his rating was 1700 at the first event that we went to. He was also there down in Belfast, and then he lost 20 points during that tournament, so he was about 1680. And we had the black pieces coming up against him. So yeah, first day, the games were 75 minutes with 15-second intervals. I obviously don't have the times or anything up, as I'm not even too sure of how to do that. So coming up against d4, I didn't really know what to do, but it did seem as if I threw him straight out of the prep by playing this bishop f5 move. He spent some amount of time thinking here on the third move of what to do. To vert, I didn't know. Kind of in the opening, I needed to react a wee bit to what he was doing. So he goes for this c6 move, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm kind of playing like a reverse London here, a London for black. So Slav, so push, and then we come out. And usually if you're playing as white and you're playing the London, you see this c5 move, you would play c4. So that's exactly what I done, is played c6 in this position. And yeah, quite common move, bring out the queens, because this bishop has now weakened this b7 square. And if he takes us, opens up the rook, so we're happy. After this, development kind of continued as normal. We're not playing the most critical moves here, so we're not. It says here we should have taken, apparently. I don't really see the benefits of taking. Let's have a look at that. So here computer says we should have taken and just developed, alright, just deal without having a d-pawn. Right, okay, but we didn't do that. We developed, he brought out his bishop, we started getting our knight into the game. And this move he questioned me after the game. It's like, why did you play knight b4? No, queen b4. I was like, well, I want you to take me, because if you take me, then my bishop comes out and gets developed. And again, I calculated all this, like, okay, if he pushed his pawn, well, then I would just take, and we're kind of going to have to end up playing normal from this position. It does give him a slight advantage, but it's not a big deal, really. We can easily, very quickly break out, develop our pieces a bit more, and get castled. I wasn't too bothered. If he alternatively, if he did take us, this just benefits us. We can be kicked out. We could trade like this, or we could drop back, we get attacked, and then it locks everything down. And our bishop, is getting kicked all the way back to the back rank. But he didn't take, okay? Instead, he developed his bishop. We brought our knight out. He played this h3 preparatory move to stop anything from going here. Very simple move. We jumped the knight into the center. Now this is a mistake. Only one move worked there, and this wasn't it. Again, we should have taken here. It's not a big deal. I did also look at the fact, okay, at this position I was looking to throw in the queen here. Say for example he played this h3 move now, we go and he doesn't take us. Say for example he tries to kick us out. Well, that just hangs his queen now, so he wouldn't do that. Let's just say he jumps a knight into the center. It actually stops our plan. But I was planning, okay, well, this here pawn's going to be a wee bit weak, so if he doesn't take us or anything, we can kind of get this pawn. But again, that's not what happened, and instead he pushed his bishop up, he pushed the h3 pawn, he castled. We jumped the knight into the center, and bishop here was a mistake. Now this is a mistake because when bishop takes, queen takes, we jump back and we just have a worse position. But that's, you know, here apparently is an equal trade. Right? Okay, it's not a bad sequence. It's not. So we take the pawn. We take the pawn, he takes back, regardless. This is what happened though. He did take the dark square bishop. Here obviously we can come back with a queen, we can come back with a knight, but we do take the queen, open up his rook, we then come back, take the bishop, and put our knight back into the centre. We should have played a6 in this position, and then it would have freed up our rook a wee bit more to move around. But he takes the knight in the centre, we take back with the bishop. We're happy to make another trade here. He kicks us out. I did see him. Okay, well, this move doesn't only attack the bishop, it also opens up the possibility to be attacked again with the pawn. So we drop back. I didn't really know to drop back all the way, because if we go here, he can just kick us out either way again. So we castle, he takes the pawn, we take the pawn. We didn't want to take here. If we took with the c pawn, this permits him to get in with his rook. That would just be bad, we wouldn't want that happening. So we did take with the e pawn. He pushed again, tried to create that weakness. We kind of ignored the weakness at the moment. You know, we're not worried about him taking in this position, but he does start a lovely kind of rewriting sequence. Kicks our bishop out. Definitely would have been better to come down, go bishop d7, protect the pawn. Don't know why, but I decided to put the bishop on g6, kind of keep it in this diagonal. I did think if I put it anywhere here, it's going off a very, you know, it's cutting off the squares, but it is protecting it a bit more. And he starts this brilliant knight resequence, like rewriting sequence, obviously to go here, add another attacker, and it'll take us a few moves to add a defender, if possible at all. So try to create some counterplay over on the king side. He does then go for the attack. I looked at this and I was like, okay, well, whatever way it turns out, I'm not awful, I'm not losing something massively. But then he takes, then I take back. I'm like, right, okay, if he does take, he's got this fork. Okay, so it's an immediate threat. So, you know, he's go here, we go over, and he can win both the rooks. Show what that looks like. So say I went, say tuck here, oh no, hold on, it's his move. So he takes, I get greedy and I take. Let's just check here. He can take with a rook, another check, and then he's winning both the rooks at the end of it. So he is. So it's not good. It's not good. Luckily, it's not what happened. Did move the king over, which was a big mistake in this position. It's actually a blunder apparently. Should have played rook e8 first, attacking the weaker pawn, stopping this check. But yeah, we do play king over, and he brings the bishop in. And in this position, I'm like, right, okay, we're getting extremely cramped. We only have one safe square here, really, for our rook. Or, you know, we could move up as well. We do move over. He moves across. And yeah, he's winning that rook. The rook has nowhere to go, because this rook decided to save himself and is the only one on the safe square. But we do take, alright, like, okay, well, we're going to create counterplay. He takes the rook. We take the pawn, and now we have a pawn 2 squares away from promoting for the sake of a rook. Okay, it's not terrible, it's really not. We have 5 pawns, he has 3, he has a rook, 2 rooks, we have 1 rook, he has a knight, we have a knight, he has a bishop, we have a bishop. But his king is a lot more exposed. Mine can very quickly come under attack. So this was one of the best moves as well. Keeping this pawn safe, counter attacking this pawn. Opening up a few more squares and ranges for our bishops and our knight. Jumps the knight in the centre, very solid move. We decide to give the check, kick his king back a wee bit. Okay, now his king is extremely cut off. Well, his king can't even go there anyway. So extremely cut off. And we're like, okay, there's going to be some counterplay. So give him the check. Now he's cut off even further. So he needs to go forward or go across. Again, he spent some time here. He's worried about a mating threat. We do give the check, grand, and he finds one of the only good moves, moving the king over. We're like, okay, well, we gotta create some play. We gotta keep the attack going. Obviously, this move gives up this pawn, but there's nothing we can do really to save that pawn. We obviously can't promote in this position. There was a drawing opportunity there, I believe. It's somewhere along here. Yeah, once he takes, we have the drawing opportunity of, say we go queen takes. We have check. It's just a repetitive, you know, and we could have got a draw here. We could have even promoted to a knight because it's a check and it's a forcing move. He has to take. Therefore, going through the same sequence, nothing really matters, and he's locked in this wee cube. It's going to be a draw. But ultimately, what happens? We take with a rook, give him the check, moves over, and his king manages to go for the wee escape. Here I'm there is okay. There's no checkmate. There's nothing I could do. I'm going to give him another check, trade off the pieces, and we lost the most advanced pawn. Right now, it's awfully winning. It's awfully winning. It's 5.1 for white, as you can see on the side. But obviously, in person, you don't have this. You don't have it. So he has a rook for a pawn. No, yeah, he has a rook for. I have 2 pawns. Kind of just trying to create a bunch of counterplay. Try to get our pawns up as far as we can. He starts giving us all these checks. He cuts our king off. And now he's just got like a clear wee path to go. So he starts going. And I realised, okay, hold on. My king is cut off. Right? My king can't go forward here at all. And I can go down, but then I just lose the rook. So what kind of position is his king in? Well, his king can't go across. Right? King can't go up. Even if I give him a check here, let's say I was safe and I give him a check here, he couldn't escape. Because my king is here stopping him from escaping. So I say, okay, well if he promotes to a queen, is it check? No. What's he doing? He's looking up here. So I couldn't give him a check here. Anyway, if he promotes, I go f4. Are you seeing what's happening? Are you seeing about what is about to happen? I can't even speak today. In this position, you need to give a check. You can't just promote. And he learned this the hard way. See, as soon as I seen this, I was like, if he promotes this, is it? Game's done. He has a 39-point advantage. 39-point advantage, right? But that only stays if he doesn't promote. Why? Well, it's drawn. It's a forced draw, and see, as soon as okay, now the computer's. Oh no, yeah, there we go. The game is close to even, but white lost their winning advantage by giving themselves a queen. Imagine that, you push it, you get a queen, you go to game review, you have a look at it, and you're like, yeah, you lost your winning advantage. It's completely drawn now. Like, how I have 2 rooks and a queen versus 2 pawns and a rook? Well, his king is completely in a box. King has nowhere to go. And in this position, after he promoted, I went here. And I was like, as soon as I went out, well, not as soon, I moved over and I was like, I think it's a forced draw. And he's like, what? And I was like, your king's in a box, I can just keep checking him. And he got so angry. He kind of got a wee bit tilted. He was like, he's looking at it and he's like, nah, and started cursing and all the way, like silently, because other games are going on. But we were one of the longest games. We were the last game finished. Again, 75 minutes, 15-second intervals. We went all the way down. He had 15 seconds left. I had like 4 minutes or something. So we went all the way down to the wire, and yeah, he promoted. He moved over. I give him the check, and I was like. And then he put his hand out for a draw, and I was like, yeah, it is a draw. There's nothing we can do in this position, because again, he is just in a square. We can just check him to death. There's nothing he can do. Like, no matter what, in some order, some which way, he's going to end up repeating the same moves. Like, it's going to happen. There's nothing he can do. That's because my king is here, cutting off these squares. So that enables a check like this. So then, I can't just go here and he can't just like walk out. I was so lucky. So in this position, let's just go back. So this position, see, instead of promoting to a queen, needed to give a check, force my king away. So say I came down and attacked him, doesn't matter, just force my king that wee 1 square away. And if I start giving a check now, well, you're getting out. He's getting out, but no, that's not what happened. And yeah, we got very, very lucky in our first game. We ended up getting the draw. Repeated moves. Well, we didn't really repeat moves. I give him this check after I told him it was a draw, and he was looking at it, working it out. He's like, yeah, okay. So the first game we ended up with half a point. Not bad start. Now the fact that we ended up on half a point, almost it benefited us. I'll tell you why at the end. Now it was about our tournament performance rating. That's why it benefited us. And you know, if you lost a game, you might have some very strong people or weaker people playing the games with 0 points. If you draw a game, you have a chance of playing someone who won a previous game and is on 1 point. That there would then have you against playing someone stronger, you know, someone... There wasn't an awful lot of FIDE rated people. We did have an Ulster champion. We did have a 2100 player. You know, but there was some really good ones, but I didn't get into that caliber of games. In this game, it was a nasty one. It was a very, very nasty one. D4, I was white. D4, D5. Go for a London. And this guy I was playing, he's a very, very strong player. He loves the Carol Khan. He loves the Carol Khan. He plays it. You play E4, 100% guaranteed he's playing the Carol Khan. And he managed to turn this D4 opening into a Carol Khan-ish position. We developed a knight, he pinned it, we attacked, he fell back. Okay, so, you know, it's very, very Carol Khan-like. So we took, developed and all as normal. And then, you know, it went really, really wrong. In this position, I miscalculated things, so I did. You know, create a bunch of counter-attack, we'll start pushing here. Then he threw this E5 move into the game. And I made a huge, huge mistake. In this position, I took with a knight. And he said off me, you should have taken with a pawn. It was an even game. And I should have taken with a pawn. The computer doesn't even say take it. The computer just says play bishop out. Right. But let's have a look at if I did take with a pawn. So, no, that's not what happened. I needed to take here. Knight takes, queen takes. Okay? Now what's the difference there? Difference in this position, there's only the rook that's looking at this. Okay? Rook is under attack, but it's protected. Not a big deal. Okay? But that's not what happened. And instead I took with a knight. He took with his knight. Then I took with a pawn. He is not obliged to take this. He does not need to. Why? Because he can take a bishop, then take the queen. Now he's just up a bishop. It was tough. I didn't know if taking here was best. This says it's excellent apparently. And yeah, this one was just a fair lost position. Tried to create counterplay. Didn't really work out. We've done our best, but you know, there's only so much you can do when you're down a bloody bishop. And yeah, in this instance, instead of just going here and then we losing a tempo or something. Oh, he's just getting there. We decided, okay, well, we'll try something. Let's see where to go. Give him the check, take the rook, and then we're happy enough to create the rooks in this position. Why? Well, okay, we can start walking our king over. I was thinking maybe I can get not a stalemate, but like a repeating of moves. But no, he managed to get his king in, and I have nowhere to go. Once I fall back, I'm kind of stuck there. So yeah, it was a tough loss. It was, and in the first two games, we only managed to get half a point. But oh my god, wait and see what the next two games have in store. You will, you will not believe what I won with. You'll be like, how and why did you play this? But how did you win? Like, it makes no sense. It was just one of the most bizarre games I have ever seen. Like, you look at the position, and it looks too normal for what it was. But anyway, that is what the game has been like. My first two games of my over the board tournament at the Lisburn Chess Club. And I do think from looking at my previous tournament and this one, I have reached the 5-game quota. So I should be getting a FIDE rating by the end of this month. Do stay around and we will have a look and see how that goes. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. do tune in to the next one, because it's going to be a banger, an absolute banger of a chess game. It really is. It really is. Thank you.